welcome you all to this webinar on the topic filing of appeal at GST portal. I am Pankaj Arora. I am presently contributing as Senior Manager Outreach and Capability Building in GSTN. And this webinar is being organized by GSTN in collaboration with the NEGD, National E-Governance Division of Digital India. I welcome you once again to this presentation. So for today's webinar, the content will be why there are appeal provisions and who can file appeal. And we will discuss about the relevant provisions in GST law and the forms which are relevant to filing of appeals and the timelines thereof. There are certain requirement of pre-deposit of amount before filing of appeal, and what will be the effect of pre-deposit of amount on the recovery proceedings against the demands confirmed by the adjudicating authority. We will also describe the process of filing the appeal at GST portal, for which the functionality has already been deployed at GST portal. So there are two types of acknowledgements while you file appeal. There are two types of acknowledgement. One is provisional and another is final acknowledgement. We will discuss in this webinar. And I will take the relevant questions asked by the participants in the question and answer session. So to begin with, let's see what is the appeal and why it is required, when it can be filed and who can file it. So as you all know that tax law impose different type of obligations on the taxpayers and other persons under the relevant statutes, and some obligations are tax related and others may be described as technical nature or procedural. So sometimes it happens that the tax official comes to know about some non-compliance subsequent to the verification, assessment or scrutiny or the audit proceedings by the department. That disagreement may be the dispute may be perceived, or it may be pertains to the actual non-compliance, but it is very natural that in a given set of law or facts, dispute may arise as a person may interpret it differently while the department may see it differently. So to resolve those disputes, the appeal mechanism is there for both the aggrieved person as well as the tax department, and if aggrieved, they can file the appeal against the order. So before proceeding further, let me discuss that in this since the term adjudication order will come again and again in this presentation, and the adjudicating authority, I will elaborate further in the coming part of my presentation. So here it is to emphasize that GST statute provides appeal mechanism under GST law. So under this, section 107 of CGST Act prescribes that any person, whether he is registered or unregistered under GST law, if he is aggrieved by any decision or order which has been passed against him by an adjudicating authority, then he may file an appeal to appellate authority. And the time limit for filing appeal is 3 months. 3 months will be counted from the date on which the said order or decision is communicated to such person. So it is not necessary to be registered on GST portal. If you are aggrieved by the order passed by an adjudicating authority under the Act, in that case, you may file appeal to the appellate authority. The time limit is 3 months from the date of communication. And in the case of appeals by the tax department, a different timeline is there. It is 6 months time period. So if the tax department wants to file appeal against the order passed by the adjudicating authority, the time limit is 6 months, which is provided under section 107 subsection 2 of CGST Act. Wherever in the presentation I refer the CGST Act, the similar provisions have been made in the state GST Acts and the Union Territory GST Acts. The provisions are pari materia with the CGST provisions, CGST Act provisions, and there in the timelines, as I have described, that the in case of the registered or unregistered, if a person files appeal against the impugned order, the 3 months time limit is there, and in the case of appeals filed by tax department, the 6 months time limit is there. And but a further period of 1 month can be granted by the appellate authority if it is satisfied that sufficient cause is there which has prevented such person or the tax department to file appeal within the prescribed period. So a delay up to the 1 month by the prescribed date can be condoned by the appellate authority upon shown the sufficient cause for doing the same. So there are certain scenarios, certain decisions or orders which are deliberated in section 121 of the CGST Act, against which no appeal shall lie. So these orders relate to, first is when a competent authority directs transfer of proceedings from one officer to another officer, no appeal can lie against such order under the GST Act as envisaged in section 121. And the other is if there is any order pertaining to seizure or retention of books of accounts or other documents, no appeal shall lie against that order. And order sanctioning prosecution under GST Act, in this case also no appeal shall lie. And also the order passed under section 80, it is regarding allowing the payment of dues under installment. If such order is passed, no appeal shall lie as per section 121. In all other type of appeals, appeal can be filed. And here in this part we will discuss what will be the pre-deposit amount and what will be its effect on the recovery. So there are certain constraints which are built in the appeal mechanism to prevent the frivolous filing of appeals and to ensure the tax recovery also, that no appeal shall be filed unless the appellant has paid. First is the admitted liability. If the impugned order has, by the impugned order, the adjudicating authority has demanded certain sum as tax or penalty, then out of that amount, the admitted liability, there are two parts. One part is that which is admitted by the appellant, and the other is which is not admitted by the appellant, and the appellant thinks that the order is not just and proper, and he is filing for in respect of that amount. Then that amount will be called as disputed amount, and a sum equal to the 10% disputed amount is required to be paid as pre-deposit by such appellant before filing such appeal. So the when such pre-deposit is when the admitted liability is paid in full and the 10% of the disputed tax liability is paid as pre-deposit and the appeal is filed within the specified time limit, then it shall be deemed that the recovery proceedings will be deemed stayed, though there is no need for filing a separate stay application with the appeal. So it will be deemed stay when you have pre-deposited it amount. So there are four main formats of the appeal documents. One is GST APL 01, which we will describe in this presentation. That is form of filing appeal to appellate authority, GST APL 01. APL 02 form relates to the acknowledgement of submission of that appeal. APL 03 is application to the appellate authority by the department, which is by the tax department. The tax department's appeal, which are specified under section 107 subsection 2 of CGST Act, that will be the form for filing will be GST APL 03, and GST APL 04 is the summary of the demand order. Whether the first appellate authority or the subsequent appellate authorities issues any order, it shall be, the summary shall be captured in GST APL 04. So in this presentation, we will discuss the APL 01 and APL 02, that is acknowledgement of submission of appeal. So here you can see the form of filing appeal by a person, that is form APL 01. It is prescribed in rule 108 of CGST rules. So you can see that in this form, here are in the first three columns pertain to the particulars of the appellant, that is his GSTIN number or a temporary number, or the legal name of the appellant, trade name, and the address. The first four tabs pertains to the particulars of the appellant, and the fifth to seventh is pertains to the impugned order against which the appeal is being filed, which contains the order number, order date, and designation of the order who has against whose order the appeal is being filed. And the column 7 is very important. It is date of communication of the order which is being appealed against. So date of communication is important to determine the limitation period, that is the time limit of filing appeal. Name of the authorized signatory, details of case under dispute. So, and the other columns pertain to the brief issue of the dispute, if it pertains to the classification of goods, and the details are to be provided, period of dispute, and the amount under dispute. Amount under dispute is categorized under respective tax heads or the fee or penalty heads. And if in case of seized goods, the market value is to be shown in the form. And the three other most important columns are, you have to indicate whether you wish to be heard in person during the appeal proceedings, and the statement of facts and ground of appeal. And here the below column pertains to the amount of demand created, admitted, and disputed. The amount of demand created is the total amount headwise which is confirmed by the adjudicating authority by the impugned order. And the admitted amount is which is in respect of which there is no dispute and no appeal is being filed, and the disputed amount pertains to that amount against which, out of the demand created, excluding the admitted liability, which remains is the disputed liability against which the taxpayer is in appeal. So the payment, the particulars regarding payment of the admitted liability and the pre-deposit of the disputed amount, disputed liability, is being shown on the relevant columns in the form. And you have to declare whether the appeal is being filed after the prescribed period, yes or no. If it is filed beyond the prescribed period, then the period of delay and reason of delay are to be specifically indicated in the form. And it is to be duly verified and signed by the appellant or his authorized signatory. So here in this part, we will discuss how to file the appeal at GST portal. And for this, if a person is registered, he may access the GST portal, and using his credentials like username and password, he will log into GST portal and he will click user services. I will describe the flow with the relevant screenshots also. But to describe the process, to make it clear, I am describing the major steps to be taken by the user. If a person who is not registered at GST portal is aggrieved with an order, then a temporary ID will be issued to him by the tax department, tax officials, and by using that temporary ID, the unregistered person can, if he is aggrieved by the impugned order, he can also file appeal at GST portal. So after login, the taxpayer has to use the user services, and they click on the my application page. And for my application, he has to choose application type as appeal to appellate authority from the drop down list. So we will see in this slide that, but one thing is prerequisite, that there should be some order or decision passed by the adjudicating authority, and that order details should have been captured by filling up the form DRC-07 by the tax official, and only then the appeal can be filed online at GST portal by such appellants. So here you can see that after login, the taxpayer clicks on the services and then user services, and in the user services he gets the option of my application. So when he clicks on my application, you can see the drop down menu of advance ruling, intimation of voluntary payment, letter of undertaking, and at the last of it you may see it is appeal to appellate authority. So since we are describing the appeal process, so here we will click the appeal to appellate authority, and since we are filing a new appeal which has not been recorded, so we will click on new application. Once you click on new application, you will see that there is a column of application type. Application type we have selected appeal to appellate authority, and new application we clicked on. On clicking the new application, the form for filing appeal, that is GST Appeal 01, comes up at the screen, and here we have to see the order type. We have to select from the order type. There is a tab you can see, and it shows the menu as demand order, registration order, refund order, and other orders. So in this presentation, we will deal with the demand orders. And demand orders, we will have to select an order number. It is very important part of the segment. Order number, if you have got any order and that order number is mentioned in the email ID sent to email sent to you by the GST portal, then in that case you may enter that order number. Otherwise, you will have to again click on services, user services, and my notices and order, view my notices and order, and you can get the order number from that. If the order is issued at GST portal, you can get the order number and enter it, and then you click on search. When you click on search, here we have entered the order number and clicking on search. When you click on search, the order details are auto populated, but to start with, the entries are editable here. So the date of communication is pre-populated data communication as per the GST portal, but to begin with, it is being made editable for the taxpayers to use. So it is editable field, and if you will have to select the category of the case under dispute. So category contains a drop down, and you can see the drop down menu in this slide, that it covers the cases of misclassification, or the wrong applicability of a notification, or if the time of place of supply is under question by the impugned order, then you can select the relevant drop down menu. If it pertains to ITC, or it pertains to liability to pay tax on any goods or services, or both, or it pertains to the registration, if by the impugned order the applicant is required to be registered and he is filing an appeal against, he has to click on the relevant columns. So similar, there are 16 type of menus in it, and you can select the relevant menu as the category of case under dispute. So going forward, if here it is pertinent to mention that if your case has more than one type of disputes, then in that case also you can add as many types from the drop down list by clicking on add. When you click on add, these types of select which these categories you select comes on the screen on this and is populated in your form. Yeah, and then in next you will have to select the period of dispute. Period of dispute is maybe auto populated, but if you can also edit it, it is editable field from and to. Now the next column is very important, which is you will now this is the basic form you will have select. Now you will have to download Annexer to GST APL 01 template. So after entering the order details and the dispute category, you will have to download the Annexer to APL 01 template, which is given in the, you can see here, it is given a tab confirms that click here to download Annexer to GST APL 01 template. So Annexer contains the other fields which are not captured in the main forms. So here we can see that what is the process. Click in this, you will have, as I have told you, that you will have to click here to download Annexer to GST APL 01 template. So when you click here, a template opens up which you will have to fill. The template which you download by clicking on this button will be in Word format, and after entering all the details, you will have to convert into PDF and then upload that Annexer to the here at the provided place. So before moving further, let me describe it again. That once you click here link to download the Annexer is downloaded, then you will have to enter the necessary details in the relevant columns, and you will have to select then you will save the file and in your on your system, local system, and then you will have to convert the Word file, that file you have created, from Word format to PDF. And if you have any difficulty, here also there the instructions, you can see that it is given here. Click here to view the steps for converting the file application Word template to PDF file. You can, if you have any difficulty in conversion of Word to PDF, you can click here to show to see the steps required. So you will have to upload that template in the PDF format in the at the portal, and you can upload the template size which you will have to upload is maximum size is 5 MB. So here you can see that after downloading the Annexer, after downloading the Annexer to the APL 01 form, and after entering the necessary details and converting into PDF, we can upload this Annexer to at the portal by choosing file here. You will have to upload file here at this place. And now I will show you what constitutes the Annexer to form APL 01. It contains the details of the case under dispute, for which you can enter information as required by you. Brief issue of the case under dispute. If the classification is there of goods or services is in dispute, narrate it. If it pertains to seizure, a certain seizure has been effected by the tax authority, then the market value of seized goods is to be given. And if you have to specifically mark yes or no if you wish to be heard in person or not. Statement of fact is an important part of the appeal, and ground of appeal on which you are filing appeal, which you deem that these grounds are in your favor against that impugned order, then the ground of appeals shall be mentioned in that column, and the regular prayer, and you have to declare whether it is being filed after the prescribed period, yes or no. If it is being filed after the prescribed period, then you will specifically state here yes, and then if the period of delay and reasons for delay, you will have to state here in your application. So after you upload that Annexer to at GST portal, the next column pertains to the disputed amount payment details. So here you can see, I will elaborate the major steps that once you click the disputed amount payment details here. Now the form opens up with the amount under dispute. You will have to enter the amount under dispute and the total admitted liability you will have to enter, and based on the percentage, that is 10% of the disputed part, you will have to make prepayment. And that prepayment you can do by utilizing the cash and as well as the ITC, which is available in the electronic cash ledger or ITC ledger available in your balance. So once you click on it, you will have to the page relates to the payment of disputed or the admitted liability opens up, and here you will enter the amount under dispute. So amount under dispute is that amount out of the confirmed demand which is not being admitted by you, and amount under dispute is that amount against which you are filing appeal. So you will have to enter that amount under the relevant columns and tabs here. And the next column is pertains to the admitted amount. Admitted amount is that amount which is which comes after subtracting the disputed amount from the total tax demand amount. So in which there is no dispute, so you will have to enter the details of the demand created, that is demand confirmed, and out of which what you admit. So in this tab you can see that amount of demand created you will have to maintain separately, and out of that demand which has been created against you, what is the portion of demand admitted, you will have to enter the relevant particulars here. So moving further, whatever we have in the previous slides, you can see the disputed amount which we have entered this, and we will have to enter the percentage as 10% as the prescribed percentage of the as pre-deposit of the disputed amount is 10%. So yeah, the disputed amount when you enter it's 10, the payment which is required to be made by you auto populates on the system, that is 10% of the disputed amount as the pre-deposit amount, and 100% of the admitted amount which is not being disputed out of the total amount confirmed by the adjudicating authority. So you enter the necessary details here, and you will this you can see that you will have to make sure that you scroll to your right for seeing and viewing and entering the details in the relevant columns. And once you are satisfied that you have correctly entered the amount pertaining to different columns tabs, then you will click on, because you will have to pay from your cash balance lying in electronic cash ledger or the ITC electronic credit ledger at GST portal. You will click on utilize ITC cash, which is tab which is you can see at the bottom. So to describe the further, I have you will see that your whatever the amount is available in your electronic cash ledger or credit ledger, you can see that amount after clicking on utilize ITC or cash. You will see that whatever balance is available, you can adjust it from your liability. So whatever liability you have created as part of for deposit of the admitted amount and the as pre-deposit, that is 10% of the disputed amount, that will be shown as liability in the form to you, and that demand ID reference number will be reflected at your screen. So here you will you can see the liability amount, and the available balances which are in your cash ledger or electronic credit ledger, which are available with you at GST portal. You can see the balances available, and once you scroll down to your right, you can enter the amount which is required to be paid from the cash ledger out of the pre-deposit amount and the amount of admin liability, whatever is required to be paid through cash ledger, and what amount is liable to be paid through credit ledger, you can enter here by scrolling to your right in the respective columns. And once you enter the amount which is being paid through cash or by utilizing the credit, then you will click the tab set off, which is you can see at the bottom. But before clicking on set off, please make sure that the amount you have entered in the relevant columns is correct, because after clicking on set off, the amount will be debited from your ledgers. Here one thing is also pertinent to mention, that if a penalty or fee or interest is part of the admitted or disputed liability, then it cannot be paid through the ITC ledger balance. It has to be necessarily paid through the cash balance lying in the cash ledger only. And also if in respect of the payment through ITC ledger, the relevant the cross utilization rules from one head to another head of tax will be applicable in that. So once you click on set off, then a message comes that you are utilizing cash of this amount and ITC of this amount for payment of your liability as selected by you. And you once utilize, you will have to click on as yes. Before that, you will have to make sure that the amount entered is correct and true. And once you click on OK, then you get a message at your screen that your payment is successful, and you get a payment reference ID at your screen. And that amount which has been paid by you as pre-deposit of the disputed amount and the full deposit of the admitted liability as part of filing appeal, that is subtracted from the ledger balances in your ledger. So the next part is you will have to upload the supporting documents. Supporting documents which may pertain to your, because the annexure of APL 1 you have already filed. Now there may be other supporting documents which you will have to upload while filing the appeal. So here one thing is required to be mentioned, that only in respect of uploading of supporting documents, only PDF and JPEG file formats is allowed, and maximum size is 5 MB. So 4 files up to 20 MB can be uploaded. But if your file size is bigger than the what is prescribed for upload at the portal, you can, or the number is more than the four for upload at portal as supporting document, the remaining document you can hand over in person at the appellate authority office to the authorized person. And the next steps are, you can preview your application and you can proceed to file. So here we will deal how to upload the supporting documents, as 4 number of supporting documents, up to 4 number of supporting document of 5 MB size can be uploaded. You will have to choose, you might have saved all those supporting document in the PDF or JPEG format in your local system, and you can choose one by one to upload those documents. And while uploading, you can enter the document description in the relevant tab. You can see here that document you have to describe which the narration of the document in it, and you can add as many as 4 documents in this. Now the next step is, now you can see that you have uploaded the supporting document, which is you can see here. And now the next step is verify and file. So here you have to check on the verification box, and you have to select the authorized signatory name details and the place, enter the place, and you will click on proceed to file. Proceed to file. While you click on proceed to file, but it is advised you, before clicking on proceed to file, you please click on preview button, so that you can see whatever is there. If there is any detail which is to be modified, which is not correct, which is not proper, in that case you can still come back, modify such details, and then proceed further before for proceeding to file. So after you generate the preview and you are satisfied, you are verifying this, and you can see the proceed to file. And when you click on proceed to file, which you can see at the bottom of the my screen, you get a proceeding, you get a warning whether you want to proceed. If you click on, if you want to file, you are satisfied that the information is entered by you is correct, needs no modification, you click on proceed. And once you click on proceed, now the another tabs begin. Now you can submit your application with DSC or EVC, whichever is applicable in your case. So I am describing the EVC procedure here. You have to validate the OTP which comes on your notified mobile number, and as well as on email. You will have to enter that email ID, that OTP, and click on validate OTP, and then you get acknowledgement on your screen that your form has been signed successfully through EVC, and provisional acknowledgement on submission of form of appeal you get on your screen. Now you can download that form also. There is a tab at the bottom to download such form. And here one thing is very, very important for the viewers, that though you have filed appeal form online at GST portal, it is not the end, because this is only the provisional acknowledgement. And here you can see that please submit certified copies within 7 days to get appeal admitted. It is very important steps. So don't forget to submit the certified copies of all the appeal papers, appeal forms, acknowledgement, payment particulars, the certified copy of impugned order against which the appeal has been filed within 7 days at the with the appellate authority, or with the officer authorized by the appellate authority on his behalf. So in the provisional acknowledgement, you can see that the date of filing, time of filing, place of filing is mentioned, your name and address is mentioned, and the amount of pre-deposit is also mentioned. So you can download it if you wish to. So you also get a mail. You also get a mail on that provisional acknowledgement, that on your notified email ID from the GST systems, that this mail is in reference to the form APL01, appeal to appellate authority. Your appeal has been successfully filed. Your application number is given in that mail. So you can note down your ARN number in your record. And in this part, we will cover what is the acknowledgement of appeal, and what is its importance, and what two type of acknowledgement is prescribed in the law. So here you can see that Rule 108 subsection sub rule 3 provides that when you file appeal at GST portal, a provisional acknowledgement you get, and that appeal form should contain the ground of appeal and form of verification in the annexer also. And you will have to provide a certified copy of the impugned order. Impugned order you will have to provide at the appellate authority office, or to the officer which is duly authorized in this regard. So once you submit your all the papers physically to the appellate authority office within 7 days of filing appeal, online file. Then after that, only the final acknowledgement you get in the form GST Appeal 02. The final acknowledgement you get from the appellate authority office. So it will contain the appeal number by the by which the your appeal is registered in his office, and it has very important effect that if you file the required document within 7 days, then the date of filing your appeal shall be the date of issue of provisional acknowledgement, which date of issue of provisional acknowledgement means on which date you have filed appeal on the GST portal. So if you don't file it within 7 days, then in that case, the date of filing of appeal shall be the date of submission of such copy. So it has a very important bearing on the limitation. So please be careful that you that you submit the physical copy and supporting documents with the certified copy of impugned order to the appellate authority office within the prescribed time limit, because it has a bearing on the timelines. So you can see the provisional acknowledgement here. You have downloaded it, and it is very important that your appeal shall be treated as filed only when the final acknowledgement indicating the appeal number is issued by the appellate authority to you. And the final acknowledgement will be, I am repeating at the cost of repetition only, also to emphasize that unless and until you get the final acknowledgement from the appellate authority, only then your appeal will be deemed as filed. So the final acknowledgement will be in form GST Appeal 02, which will contain the your particulars of your appeal, date and time of filing, name of person, amount of pre-deposit, date of acceptance or rejection of appeal. So after preliminary examination, if your appeal is rejected or accepted, you will get a date of, and the further details you will get in this final acknowledgement. So if you want to view, download or take a print of your appeal, then you can after login, you can view on the services, then user services, and you can come to my applications. Then when you click on my application, you get the application type. Here you will have to either you select the period or you select the application type. You will get the ARN of your appeal. Then there is a hyperlink given in that ARN. Once you click it, you get a view of the appeal form which has been uploaded, which has been filed by you in form GST APL 01 at GST portal by you with the relevant date. Once you click on it, you can get you can view and download and take a print of it, because you will have to submit that print physically at the with the appellate authority. So only after submission of physical copy of documents, your appeal will be admitted, and your final acknowledgement containing your appeal number will be issued by the appellate authority. And here one thing I will repeat, that appeal will be treated as filed only after issue of final acknowledgement. So I will take some questions here which have been raised by the participants. So Devam Sheth has asked, can bank guarantee be adjusted against pre-deposit? Sir, it will normally it will not, but if the competent authority orders for it under the relevant provisions, then only it can be adjusted, otherwise not. Normally in normal cases, it cannot, bank guarantee cannot be adjusted against the pre-deposit. You will have to make payment of pre-deposit through the cash ledger or electronic credit ledger, which is which is available with you at GST portal. So there are some questions which are not relevant to topic. I will not take those questions here, but Mr. Mukul Tiwari has asked whether the pre-deposit under the Excise Act can be made at GST portal. So in this, I will suggest that though the GST law prescribes that if the recovery of certain old dues under the under the old laws which are prior to GST is not possible under that act, then they can be recovered under the GST provisions. But GST at GST portal, it will be the workaround for the same will be deployed shortly. And but at present, the pre-deposit of the amount of relevant to filing of appeal under other acts like Central Excise Act or the service tax, it cannot be made as at present. But shortly there will be provisions at GST portal. If it pertains, it can if it can be done at the GST portal. Devam Seth has again asked, can unregistered person file manual appeal? Sir, unregistered person, if they are aggrieved by the decision or order passed by the adjudicating authority, they can file appeal. So they can also file appeal online because it is deployed on portal. It is the functionality for the same has been deployed on portal. That unregistered person will have to use that temporary ID which will be allotted to them by the tax authority. So you can contact your tax authority in this matter. And if you are not able to file appeal on portal, in that case you may you may contact your appellate authority for this question. If he entertains your manual appeal, then only you can file manual appeal. Shrikant Shivaratne has asked, will we get any notification on email or mobile number if there is any demand order against our company? Sir, whatever order or notices are issued online by the officers, then you can view all those orders or notices at your dashboard after when you log in at GST portal. You can view it in the relevant view notices and order section available at your dashboard. If it is if any order is passed manually by the adjudicating authority, then you may request the tax authority to capture the details in form DRC 07. And once the details of such order, summary of such order is captured in DRC 07 form online by the tax authority, you will get it details in your at your dashboard and in your liability register. Siddhanta Jhajaria has asked, if there are two separate period of disputes, then how to enter the same? Sir, in that case, category of dispute, you can add on as many as there are. And in that case, you will have to enter the period of dispute as make the larger period as and enter it in while entering the period of dispute. Shobit Goyal has asked hard copy to submit in department or not. Sir, it is a provision that the counterparty has to be given a copy. If you don't submit, first you will have to submit the hard copy of all your appeal documents with the appellate authority in duplicate, and then if you the appellate authority can also send a copy of your appeal to the department, and you can also. Shrikant Shivratnes has again asked, when the appeal is filed online with all documents and evidences, why there is a need to submit all the hard copies at the appellate authority. Sir, it is required till time everything is automated. Till that time it is required, and moreover there is a restriction that up to four number of supporting documents can be uploaded online by you at the time of filing appeal. If the number is more or the file size is above the specified, in that case that's why it is asked to, and the process is not yet to be made fully automated and to be integrated with all the authorities. So that's why it is required that you file the documents physically also. 7 days means working days. Mohammad Nadim Kazalwala has asked, 7 days means working days. It appears to me as working days as per my understanding. But no, 7 days will be total 7 days irrespective of the working days. You will have to count 7 days in continuation. So if if you want to ask any question regarding this presentation or this webinar, you can ask us while commenting on the this recording of these webinars will be available on the YouTube channel of Goods and Service Tax Network and of Digital India. If you have any questions which is yet to be resolved, then you can ask some such questions on our Twitter handle, Ask GS Tech, referring this webinar of August 3rd appeal. You're referring this webinar, you can ask some questions. We will definitely, and you can also ask if you have any queries in this regard. These you can go to YouTube channel where you can see the recordings of these webinars, and in the comment box you can ask your questions. So it's all for from me in this presentation. So I hope it has been very useful for the viewers, and please spread this information across and we have certain social media channels. In Facebook we are in name of GST Systems India. You can like our page to get the regular updates on the new functionalities and the troubleshooting tips. And we are on YouTube channel also in name of Goods and Services Network. You can watch all the recordings of the webinars previously held and the certain other short videos and CBTs, which are very useful for the compliance portion for a taxpayer. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can follow us on Twitter at Ask GST Tech, and you can ask some questions which are related to GST portal processes. So thank you all. Thank you for sparing your valuable time to watch this webinar. And I would like to thank Mr. Prakash Kumar, CEO GSTN, Mrs. Kajal Singh, Executive Vice President, Mr. Rajiv Agarwal, Senior Vice President, Outreach and Capacity Building, for all the support and encouragement given to me. Mr. Praveen Kumar for his guidance, as he's a module owner of the appeal, and my training team, training team members, Mr. Sateshwaran, Neera, and Mr. Chelo Rao of NEZD, Mr. Dhrubajit, and Monish Sharma of my technical team, and Mr. Prateek Chitranshi from Tech Mahindra, who has assisted me in this presentation. Thank you once again to all of you. Stay connected. Jai Hind.